Casinos shouldn't exist, at least not according to traditional economic theory. Not because they're illegal, but because they're irrational. You're offering people a deal that is mathematically bad.
I'm out.
And yet, it's a multi-hundred-billion-dollar global industry. People line up to take losses. Cities like Las Vegas and Macau run on it. Governments rely on it. So, how does something so illogical and so predictably unprofitable for the individual becomes a backbone of both local and national economies? The answer isn't just about risk. It's about what gambling reveals, a loophole in human behavior that powers entire financial systems. Gambling isn't an error in economic thinking. It's a case study in how real economies work, built not on rational decisions, but on emotion, perception, and carefully managed illusions of control. And if we understand why people gamble, we can understand a lot more about what drives financial systems, from lotteries to insurance, from slot machines to savings accounts. If you looked only at the numbers, no one would gamble. Let's break it down. A roulette wheel has 38 numbers. If you bet on red, you win if it hits any of the 18 red slots, but you lose if it hits black, 0, or double 0. Your chance of winning is 47.4%, which means, on average, you lose 5.2 cents per dollar bet. That gives the house a 5.2% of winning over your bets. Casinos don't hope you lose. They design it that way. This is called the house edge, and it guarantees the casino makes money over time. If you play blackjack using basic strategy, the house edge might be as low as 0.5%. Sounds great, right? But casinos know that, and they can tweak the rules. Maybe they pay 6 to 5 instead of 3 to 2, or the dealer hits on soft 17, and suddenly that house edge jumps to 1.5% or higher. That means the casino keeps $1.50 for every $100 bet over time. It doesn't sound like much, but spread that across thousands of hands and players, and it adds up fast.
It's such a bad business.
Rationally, that's a terrible deal. So why do we take it? Because we don't evaluate risk like economists think we do. Humans don't evaluate value based on expected returns. They chase meaning, excitement, and possibility. In standard economics, that should kill demand. But demand grows, casinos expand, online gambling thrives. Economists call it utility, but what we're really talking about is feeling. Most people don't gamble expecting to get rich. They gamble because of what it represents: control, hope, a break from monotony, or just the tiny dream of transformation. Gambling is entertainment, risk therapy, and escapism. That's why casinos continue to generate massive revenue, create jobs, and function as stable business models. Some countries have strict regulations and gambling laws, and the US is not an exception. But there are multiple angles to this debate, and when times are tough, casinos have been known to help the economy. In the United States alone, there are over 465 commercial casinos and 524 establishments operated by native tribes. This industry supports nearly 2 million jobs and creates billions in revenue, which includes around $2.4 billion at restaurants and $1.7 billion in retail sales. Casinos also generate a massive amount of tax revenue across 48 U.S. states, and when recessions hit, lawmakers are more likely to loosen betting regulations to help with tax shortfalls. In the coming years, the revenue in this industry could reach around $150 billion, and that doesn't even include the close to $30 billion generated in lottery and scratch cards. The situation is similar in countries like Canada, the UK, Australia, Spain, and many more. This industry is not going anywhere. It can only grow with the expansion of online services and sports betting. Classical economics says people make rational decisions, but behavioral economics says, no, they don't. They buy lottery tickets, even when they know the odds. They save more when their interest is tied to a prize draw than when it's just money. They buy into systems where they're likely to lose, because the possibility of more is worth everything. This isn't irrational. It's predictable. It's human. And when systems acknowledge that, they thrive. Gambling works because people aren't calculators. They're dreamers. That doesn't mean gambling is harmless, but it does mean it tells us something vital. To build economic systems people engage with, from public policy to private finance, we can't ignore psychology. People don't always want what's optimal. They want what feels powerful, what feels possible. Gambling figured that out a long time ago. The rest of the economy is still catching up. Thank you for watching. You can subscribe to my channel for more videos like this one.